Side Hustle Preview is being brought to you by the GNV Commercial Advisors at Colliers, Gainesville. Let's talk quickly about how COVID-19, COVID-20, COVID-21, maybe even COVID-22 has impacted your business. Maybe you realize you need a different kind of office space, or you have questions about your lease options, or maybe you've been thinking about buying or selling a commercial property, but you're not sure when to act. Call the GNV Commercial Advisory Team at Colliers, Gainesville. They have the expertise and local experience to help you make the right decision for your commercial real estate needs. Check out all of their services at colliers.com/Gainesville. You guys, you are in for a treat on Monday because we recorded with founder and CEO Frankel Media Group, Ryan Frankel. Ryan, thanks so much for being here, man. This was a blast.
I really enjoyed it. You know, I'm most comfortable on the other side of the camera. So you had to drag me out here, but I actually really enjoyed talking to you guys.
And we did it. We pulled him in front of the camera. Ryan, come. Well, what was your favorite part, man? What do you, out of our discussion, we had a really great discussion. What was the highlight for you?
I just like hearing, Sherman's story. I like hearing your story. I like, I feel like I take comfort in other people who've been through a lot of the same things I have. So just kind of hearing what you guys have gone through, what you've lived through this last year.
Like crying on the bathroom floor.
Yes, yes. But yeah, I mean, for me, it's, just understanding how other people have done what they've done. So I enjoyed talking about that.
Absolutely, me too. And you guys, Sherman Merrick's joined me as co-host today. Sherman, thanks for coming too, man.
Thanks for having me. It's
always fun, man.
Yeah, it was fun.
What was the highlight of this episode for you?
Ryan totally stole my answer. Being around other entrepreneurs, right? Like just hearing that, because when you're in it, right, you think, man, this is probably only happening to me. And then you realize when you talk to other guys and girls, you're like, everyone feels the same thing at one time or another, or in this case, most people in the world during COVID, at least the beginning of it, we thought like, this is it, right? Yeah. This is how everything changes. And, a lot of people it did drastically affect for the worse, but there were some people that did extremely well during that time. And it's always great to hear that.
Yeah. No, it definitely opened my eyes when you said, yeah, I was sitting on the floor of the bathroom with my wife and thought, this could be it.
That's it.
And like when you hear that from somebody who's had a business for 15 years, because we were very much in the same boat. Like New Scooters Plus is 17 years old, and I'm thinking, this could be it. There's not going to be any students driving scooters to campus if they're all taking classes on Zoom, So it's that same mindset. So you're right. There's a lot of comfort in knowing that you're not alone. So audience, if you're listening, I'm telling you right now that you are not alone. If you've been struggling through this COVID mess the last year, we're right there with you. So just know that. You guys, you are in for a great episode. Check out this clip. Again, it releases Monday at 8 a.m. Here's a clip for you.
As a broke college kid, we were parking cars, and I was making pizzas at Dean's shop out in Hale Plantation. And one day he came to me and said, hey, can you help me come up with some ideas to help market the pizza restaurant? And, he knew I kind of liked watching my family in business, and they'd had businesses. And I grew up my whole life with dad saying, hey, man, what do you think of this brochure? What do you think of this idea? You like this logo? And so Dean came to me and said, hey, can you help me market the restaurant? I didn't realize at the time that this would ultimately become my career. But the idea was, hey, Dean, why don't we put the menu on top of the pizza box, just like Domino's does, and that way everyone in Hale who takes a pizza home will get a copy of the menu and maybe they'll reorder. And Dean basically said, hey, look, if you want to design it and figure out how to print it and do all that, go for it. And I said, well, can I go next door to the Village Jeweler or some of the other businesses that were in Hale and see if they'd put a coupon on the bottom of the pizza menu? We could use that money to pay for the printing, and that's how we could pull this thing off. And Dean basically said, look, dude, you want to deal with all that, pay for the printing, you can design it, and whatever's left over, just keep it. That's what you can have for doing it. That's all he had to say.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
So I went to Village Jeweler, and they said, yeah, it's $50 a month. I'll put a coupon, goes to every house in Hale, wealthy area. And they said, yeah, $50 a month or whatever. I'm in. I thought, well, I'll go. Can I say that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Shit?
You already said it. Keep going. You already said it. Keep saying it.
So Went to the next business. I don't even remember who it was. Hey, $50, we'll put your thing on there. Yeah, in. Okay, well, maybe, we'll fold the menu over, have the menu on one side, you open it up, it's got, 6 or 8 or 10 coupons, $50 each. I'll make $400 a month. That was more than I was getting from my parents at the time. Filled up the inside, and more people wanted to do it, and we put a couple pages in, and what wound up happening is that's how the Village Journal at Hale Plantation, the first magazine that I produced, started. So it wound up being 24 pages, menu on one side, upside down on top of the pizza box, and then we distributed the rest of them all around town. This was 2004, 2005, when print was still a thing, and that started the magazine. I probably made $7 or $8 grand, which at the time may as well have been $1 million.
Like for the year.
Yeah.
Okay.
For whatever that
time
issue
period
was or something.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I lost total interest in school. Wasn't going to class. Every day talking to businesses about their $50 coupon.
How much more class did you like? Do you
I was
remember
about
what year?
halfway through. I was just about ready to transfer to UF.
All right.
I was a solid C student my whole life, so it was never my thing. But made 6, 7, 8 grand, whatever it was. Wasn't going to class. I'll never forget it. Get a call from my dad, and he's basically like, "We've got to talk." I was like, he knows. Like, they know I'm not going to school. Drive down to Orlando, meet him in this little lobby bar. I walk in, they're sitting at a table. And as soon as I look at my mom, she's tearing up. I was like, what is going on? I sit down, and I had prepared my whole pitch.
Yeah.
Started this magazine. I made $6 grand. So I sit down, and, my dad stops me, and he's basically like, look, we love you. We'll always be here for you. But look, you've been aloof. You're not answering my calls. I saw you've got $7 grand in your bank account. You selling drugs? I was like, no. I started a business. I started this magazine. It's going to be a thing. I'm telling you. So now they're thrilled because I'm not a drug dealer. And that's how the magazine started. And I said, look, I'm going to take a semester off. I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to try to, I think I've got something. I'm going to go after it. And they said, look, I'm so proud of you. So supportive. You need anything, let me know. I've got you, but you're cut off. If you want to do this, it is 100% you. You got to pay for everything going forward. And that was the last day they ever gave me a penny. And I turned that next issue, I probably made 15 grand, working a couple hours a day.
You were releasing these how often?
Quarterly.
Okay.
The second one went out, grew from 24 pages to 64 pages.
You're just knocking on doors?
Just talking to businesses, gyms, restaurants, jewelry stores, you name it. Anyone who wanted to reach an affluent market out in Hale at the time, that was a great way to do it. So that's really what started my first business. The magazine really took off. I've never gone back to school.
Do you remember what the distribution was? Like how many you did?
It was legitimate. It was 15,000 copies, something like that.
Okay.
And
especially for a little area like that.
Yeah,
that's
everyone. We mailed it to everyone who lived there. It was great. It did really, really well for over a decade. We did one in Orlando. We did one in Jacksonville. Master plan communities like Hale were saying, hey, we have our own, golf course. We have our own restaurants. Why not have your own magazine? So that was the business. And I thought, all right, we're going to have 100 of these all over the country. Well, then the real estate market crashed. Print died. And thankfully, along the way, we had people who were advertising in the magazine saying, hey, I love your creativity. I love your ideas. I love what you designed for me. Can we just hire you to handle all of our marketing? I thought, well, shoot, yeah. I mean, sure, yes, we'll figure it out. That's what an agency does. So I started an agency, and that's how Frankel Media Group started.
And that was what year? 2000?
Only about a year or two after the magazine started. And then ever since, 2007, the agency's really become the primary business. We've sold the magazines off, and the other areas, we kept the one in Gainesville probably up until maybe 5 years ago. And then we were looking at it just saying, we're spending the amount of time we spend on this magazine compared to working with our agency clients doesn't make sense. So we moonlit that one. But that's how it got started.
Podcast fam, thank you for checking out this side hustle preview clip of Monday's episode with Ryan Frankel of Frankel Media Group. We appreciate you listening. Be sure to subscribe to the WHOA GNV podcast on your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a review and please, please, please share it with somebody. We appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. See ya.